Welcome back to Book Break. I'm here today with the amazing Jessie Burton, author of these 3 gorgeous books, and we are going to give you an overview today, whether you absolutely loved her last 2 and can't wait to find out what The Confession, the latest, is about, or if you've never picked one up before but you've always been wondering what the hype is about. I'm here to give you my reasons for why I think everyone will love Jessie Burton's books. So, for the beginners out there, can you just give us a quick fire overview of the 3 books?
Okay, a little primer. So the first one, The Miniaturist, I would say it's more or less a story about a young woman in Amsterdam in 1686. Her name's Nella, she's 18, and she gets herself married off, kind of against her will, to a much older man called Johannes, who's a merchant, and he buys her a doll's house or a cabinet house as a wedding present. But what starts happening is when she hires the services of this miniaturist, all the pieces that the miniaturist starts sending her start to predict her future and the future of her new family, and threatens to reveal all these secrets that were long buried in this household and really put them all in danger.
Brilliant. I mean, how could you not want to read that from that description?
I don't know. I mean, I'd read it.
Yeah. Okay, next The Muse.
Okay, number 2 was The Muse. This is set 1967 London, and it's told through the eyes of a young woman from Trinidad. Her name is Adele Bastian. At the same time, the novel splits to 1930s Spain, and it tells the story of a young artist called Olive Schloss, whose father is an art dealer who doesn't really believe women can paint. And when Olive paints this particular picture that she hides her authorship of, and this painting turns up again in the 60s into Adele's life, what happens is that the stories start to connect, and it becomes a sort of meditation on art and finding your agency as a woman.
And now the latest, The Confession.
The Confession, this is a little different. It's set in 1980s Hollywood, which was very fun, and contemporary London, and it tells the story firstly in the 80s of a young woman called Elise who meets this novelist called Connie Holden, who's kind of at the peak of her powers. And it also tells the story of a young woman called Rose in London in 2017, whose mother went missing when she was a baby, and Rose believes that that's the reason why her life has never fallen into place. So Rose eventually contrives to find Connie Holden, the novelist, who she's told has the sort of keys to her past.
So the first thing that I want to say is that all of them have these amazing relationships between women in them, really complex and intense relationships. So was that something that you deliberately sought out to write about?
I don't think I did. I mean, I think it's a weird thing when you write, is that you only really find out what you wanted to say or what you have said once you've done it and other people tell you. There's an awful lot of books that, tell the story of romantic connections or male friendships or bonding, or, a man's journey through his life or a boy's journey through his life, which are all valid, but also I think there's so much to be untapped between women, and sometimes when you take out the sort of sexual dynamics or any kind of like external roles or assumptions that are applied to women, how they have to behave or how they have to be, there's a lot of fun that can be had.
My second favourite theme in these books is that they all really grapple with the decisions that women have to make, so versus what society is putting on them. So in The Confession in particular, that really feels to grapple with quite kind of current decisions that women have to make, and particularly about pregnancy and motherhood is a big theme there. Was that something that was important to you to make it feel kind of relevant to what women are going through?
I mean, again, I don't know if it was like I set out with a kind of mandate or a kind of manifesto that I had to turn into fiction. I suppose if you are a writer and you're living in the present time, you cannot avoid absorbing discourse that's going on about women's rights and what happens, what is happening for young women, the choices that they have to make, what happens to women in their middle age, what's happening to women in their old age. And I guess I did observe what was happening in the lives of my friends and in my life, but also just society in general. And it was unavoidable really that I wanted to kind of examine all the spectrum of being a woman in 21st century, in this case London, but I think a lot of the issues in the book are absolutely transplantable to other places.
And it's very empowering, I felt, to read, because all of
Good.
the women do make decisions, and they make different decisions, and whether they're really difficult decisions or decisions that they might end up regretting, they do it with a strong sense of agency.
Yeah, and I suppose, you know, there is more agency for women now, but I think doesn't mean that the choices that we have to make are any easier. And that's what I kind of wanted to examine. And you know, I think it's something Connie says, like, whatever you choose to do, there'll be a loss either way. Like making decisions, changing your life, it always comes with you leave something behind. So that's kind of what that examines. Okay,
so my third reason is that all three of these books have a really strong sense of time and place. Which was your favourite time period to write about?
I think I sort of have an old familiar love for the 17th century Amsterdam, because I suppose there's so many paintings of those interiors. Doing all the research for that, it was very enjoyable.
Yeah, I bet.
So probably that one, but also I have to say, writing 80s Hollywood, or you know, 80s fashions, 80s music, the kind of shoulder pads, sequins, that stuff was really fun too. Actually, then the 30, you know, it's hard.
So my next reason, number 4, is the art. Art lovers will absolutely love these books. I'm guessing that you're a big art lover.
I do love art.
Yeah, you can tell. It's a strong theme through all of the books. How do you feel that your love for art kind of influences your writing?
Oh God, I don't know exactly. I mean, I guess like one thing is I can't paint. I'm very bad, and I think for me, and I write, and I feel occasionally I can do that, and I can sing a bit, and I can dance a bit, but the one thing, like the one creative pursuit that really eludes me and has always eluded me is painting. So it remains quite an enigma to me, and an attractive one at that.
It's funny that you say that you can't paint, because I had assumed that you were very artistic. I think just from the way that you brought things to life in the book, I just assumed she must be amazing with it.
I painted with words, not with a brush.
But I guess it's the way that you can visualise what a painting might look like with people painting, or even kind of in the confessions, stuff like describing the book covers of the books. You know, you really do kind of bring these visions to life.
Thank you. Well, I guess it's just a sense of longing to I could do it myself.
And my final reason is maybe a bit shallow, but just that you
love it. Don't worry about it.
You're going to want to have all of these on your bookshelf, because just look how beautiful they all are. They look great as a set, so really go well together. Do you have, I don't know if it's like choosing a favourite child, do you have a favourite cover?
No, I genuinely don't. I mean, everyone sort of, I've been very lucky. Like every cover speaks to what's inside so well and so beautifully. I've been very lucky indeed. So no, I don't have a favourite. They all work equally well, but in different ways.
Yes. Well, thank you so much. So hopefully everyone is convinced now to go and buy all three of them, because you really should. And do give this video a thumbs up, and leave any comments below, leave any questions, and we can pass them on. And hit that subscribe button for new videos every week from Book Break. See you next time.